Hey y'all, welcome back to another Finance Friday and welcome to my channel if you are new here. Hi, my name is Brooke and on my channel I do personal finance videos and some lifestyle vlogs and stuff like that. So if you like that kind of content, I would be happy to have you subscribe. But today I'm going to do a video talking about my Roth IRA. Now, I have been investing in a Roth IRA only for the past 5 years. I started my job at the current company that I'm working for in 2021, and that is also when I started my Roth IRA. Before then, I didn't have any other investing. I literally just had my 401k from my previous company that I rolled over into a rollover IRA. But all of that was like at that time probably like $5,000, very little because I only worked at that other company for about 18 months. So I didn't really get a lot. When I was starting out in 2021, I basically had very little money invested, but I have seen so much growth in my accounts, and that's what I wanted to talk to you today about, how a little bit goes a long way and all you have to do is just take the first step in starting. So before we get into my numbers, let me explain what a Roth IRA is. A Roth IRA is an individual retirement account in the US, and it has a specific contribution limit every year, and that contribution limit can change from year to year. And in the calendar year of this year, 2026, the contribution limit is $7,500. There's also an income limit on the Roth IRA. So if you make over a certain threshold of money, you aren't able to contribute to a Roth IRA. There are some ways to go around this, like the backdoor Roth IRA, but I'm not talking about that in this video. I'm not near that threshold, and so I just do a regular old Roth IRA. And with the Roth IRA, it is an account where you get to put in the money after tax, so you don't get any tax benefits today, but when you go to take out that money at retirement, it is tax-free. So that means you can become a tax-free millionaire because of your Roth IRA. So within your Roth IRA, because it is an individual retirement account, you get to decide what you actually invest in. So I like to invest in index funds and just keep it simple. And I use Fidelity, which a lot of people have used. And with Fidelity, you can set it up so that you can do automated payments, and then it'll automatically invest the money for you. You can pick how much you want to do. You can buy an amount of shares with that, and so you can automate it, which makes it super easy. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way. And to show you that, I wanted to go through my numbers. I went through all my documents and I wrote down everything. So when I first started my Roth IRA, I started it in Betterment. And that was because I was very new to investing. Like I said, the only investing I had done was in my previous company's 401k, and I really just went with whatever they had in that fund. I didn't really do anything special with it, change up what it had. So I wasn't really doing any hands-on investing at that time. And so I decided to use Betterment because it was a robo-advisor. But last year I made a video about why I've decided to change from Betterment to my self-directed Roth IRA in Fidelity. And if you want to learn more about that, you can check out that video. But yeah, I decided that I have learned enough over the past few years that I was ready to actually do it for myself. So let's go over the numbers and let's talk about how much growth we had. So in 2021, when I opened the account, I actually didn't max it out that year. I only put in $3,000, and that was because I started it halfway through the year. I think I started it in June of that year, so it has been 5 years of having a Roth IRA. I just put in $3,000. I think that was about half of the contribution limit, but I didn't max it out because I was still trying to learn my new job, still trying to learn what I wanted to do. But at the end of that year, it was really crazy year. 2021, as a lot of people know, was a really crazy year for the stock market. My Roth IRA actually ended at $6,089.57. So even though I only put into the account $3,000, it grew by $3,000 in just 6 months. So 2021 was an outlier year. So I don't expect that to happen every year. And as you will see, it definitely did not happen. So in 2022, that was the first year I maxed out my Roth IRA. And that year, the total was $6,000. And at the end of the year, my total in my Roth IRA was $10,900 $46. So you can see we had a little bit less growth in 2022 because in total I had put $9,000 into the Roth, but it only grew to $10,900, so about $2,000 of gains. In 2023, I also maxed it out. It was at $6,500 that year. And so at the end of 2023, the balance in that account was $19,826. By that time, I had put in $15,500 of my own money, and it was at $19,826. So about $4,000 of gains, which I think is really great. So you're starting to see how compound interest can work and really start to snowball, even with small amounts. In 2024, I maxed it out again. In that year, it was $7,000 to max it out. And by the end of 2024, my total was $29,835. And so in total, my contributions were up to $22,500, but I was up to $29,835. So over $5,000 of gain, which is really crazy. And then in 2025, last year, when I moved over from Betterment to Fidelity, because I did a rollover from one Roth IRA to another Roth IRA with a different servicer, I didn't pay any capital gains taxes on it. I didn't get any penalty because I didn't actually take out any of the money. I just moved it over to a new Roth IRA with a different provider. And I maxed it out last year as well. And that was another $7,000. And at the end of 2025 last year, my total was $43,801, and my total contribution and my total contributions at that time added up to $29,500 of my own money that had gone into my Roth IRA, but I was at $43,801. So a lot of gains there, over $11,000 of gains just by the end of 2025 by maxing it out for the past 4 years and then putting in that $3,000 in 2021. And now that the account has been open for the first half of 2026, I put in a total of $3,125 because I am on track to max it out by the end of the year. So I've been putting $625 each month into the account. And so my total as of the end of May of 2026, I was at $50,759. So I officially crossed the $50,000 mark. That is insane. And I am just so excited that I got to that point because I have been putting consistently into this account for 5 years. And, it hasn't been like a crazy amount because there are limits, but I've been able to just be consistent and put into this account. And now I'm at $50,000 in only 5 years. I will say that, this is because of the really good markets that we've had. It always depends year over year. The stock market fluctuates. I can't control it, but I am just putting into it continually because I am 29. And so I still have several decades until I retire. But in total, as of May of 2026, I have contributed $32,625 to my Roth IRA. And the growth that I have seen is $18,134. So that is so crazy that I've only contributed about 2/3 of this account, and 1/3 of it has already been just purely growth. So I thought that it would be fun if I took the number that I have now of $50,000 and I put it through an investment calculator to see how much my account would actually have when I get to the retirement age that I am aiming for is 60 years old, so 30 years from now. So if I decided that I was like, you know what, I got to 50,000, I don't need to put any more money in it, which I definitely will still be putting money into this. That means that in 30 years, when I am 60 years old, this account, without adding any extra money to it, with a 7% rate, which takes into account inflation and stuff like that, this account could grow to $380,612.75, with the total interest being $330,612.75. So even with not putting any more money into this account, it would grow to almost $400,000, with most of that being interest. Now, I still want to put in a little bit more. I decided, I was like, okay, every month I've been putting in $625. That's the limit. So even if I only put in $625 and I don't adjust it to go with any of the increases that they do for the next years and stuff like that, and I only just put in $625 each month for the next 30 years, what would that get me to? What that would get me to is $1.1 million. Yes, I would be a millionaire by the time I'm 60. And this doesn't account for any of my other retirement accounts, not my 401k, not my HSA, which I'm also investing in, not my joint brokerage that I have with my husband. This is just my personal Roth IRA account in my name. So that's crazy that in this one small little nest egg that I started in 2021 when I got this job, I have seen so much growth. And if I continue on this pace, and even if I don't make it so that I am increasing what I do year over year based on the increases that the account may have as the limit that you can contribute, I would still end up a tax-free millionaire. And that, my friends, is what makes investing so exciting for me and what should make you excited about investing. The point that I want to show is that if you start small and you are consistent, you can get to a really good portfolio value just allowing your money to work for you. So in this scenario, my total contributions, including the $50,000 and how much I would put in for the rest of the time. So my total contributions would be $225,000. Now that sounds like a ton, but remember, this is putting over $600 a month for the next 30 years. But my total interest would be $836,520. So my interest would actually be 75% of this nest egg of $1.1 million. And if we did the 4% rule of this $1.1 million, that means per year, I could draw $44,000 from this account alone, and only this account. So I would have this account, I would have my 401k, I would have my HSA money that I could draw from, all of that together. But this singular account would allow me to draw $44,000 in retirement, which I think is a very nice number. I hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to make this video to encourage you all to start small, open up your Roth IRA, and you potentially, I'm not promising this, but if you really just defer a little bit of today for tomorrow, you could become a tax-free millionaire too. If you have a Roth IRA, please let me know down in the comments below, how much does your Roth IRA have in it right now? If you haven't started one yet, I definitely recommend it. It's free to open, and then it's all yours to do with what you would like. Make sure that you actually put your money to work when you put it into this account. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye, y'all.